Hey everyone, it's Beck here, and I'm going to talk about a genus of fish you probably know as the Kuhli Loach. So there is a wide genus of quite a lot of different species in it. I think it's about 30. So here in the screen you might be able to see it if I zoom in a little, but this guy is Pangio semicinta, and I do have some Pangio mares in here, which I have an adult who's very unlikely to come out, but I also have some potential babies. The thing is with Pangio mares, they're really hard to tell a difference while they're young. Generally they have more solid stripes and much more brighter colours while younger. You can see they sort of rummage around. I also have Pangio oblonga, which is this guy, the solid guy, and he's known as black Kuhli Loach, even though none of them are Kuhli because their Kuhli Loaches aren't actually imported or exported out of Thailand. So if you're something sold as a Kuhli Loach, it's likely to be Pangio semicinta, but it could be a whole load of other members of the genus. You'll notice I've got Swellia breviviva, I can't pronounce it. He's only in here temporarily, but he does do well with the setup because it is black water, and I have got a very fast flow on the thing just to get the good turnover. So as you can see, it's leaf litter, and I add leaf litter in every so often. It's quite a complex setup really in a way, because the fish I've got are all black water but all from different areas. The water conditions are generally the same for all the fish. So here's another Pangio semicinta right there, and the old Pangio mercy, which is more likely, and he's rather young, so he or she, I don't really sex them, so I don't actually know how many I've got, because they tend to like large groups, so I tend to just buy a group and then just not really count how many I've got. But I generally make sure it fits within my tank. So as you can see, they are rummaging. So they're insectivores, but they will also eat biofilm and a little bit of algae. So the algae wafers will provide a bit of benefit, but they generally are scavengers and also micro predators, eating the rather fish that, or the dead things and the invertebrates at the bottom. As you can see, their shape is anguilliform, so they're more of an eel, hence why a better common name for them is the eel loach. They're a very hardy genus. I've owned quite a few members of the genus. I've not actually met any that are really not hardy in a way. The one issue with them that really bugs it is they kick up waste a lot. So where I have the high waste pleco, and the filter mat is well over the higher turnover, any waste just goes up into the water column quite a bit, so my tank doesn't look clean. They do like hiding places, and as you can see, the amount of caves I actually have in the tank, in the wood itself, is quite a lot. So they have places to hide, and they hide within the Java ferns as well, and they're not sensitive really. Of course, they're being loaches, you can't treat with malachite green or copper, because you halve those because they're rather sensitive to it. But other than that, they are hardy to different water perimeters. They do prefer softer, more acidic water, and they do tend to enjoy that. They're generally unfussy. They won't really harm any tank mates. They don't fight. They're rather peaceful. I've had I've got loads, but they don't breed within tanks, or they do, but no one knows exactly how. There are methods to breed the Pangio oblonga, but generally people don't really breed them. I've put food out, hence why everyone's moving to the same space. So they're really unfussy. They're good fish, but you need a sandy substrate and loads of hiding places. and that's the main thing about them really. Softer water does help, but they're unfussy. Living in a hard water area, although I use RO, they don't have issues with the natural tap water of this area. They do like Repashy Soylent Green as well. So they're one of my favourite fish to keep. I've had Pangio Mercy, Pangio Semicinta, Pangio Cunny Variegata and Pangio Oblonga. Other ones are a lot harder to find, and I haven't actually found the other ones. I'd like albinos and all sorts, but I can only get what I can find, and generally the only place you can really get them is Maidenhead Aquatics, to be honest. It's just down here. There's a few more, but generally they do tend to change their behaviour with season and age. Like many loaches, they respond to pressure, so the higher the air pressure, the more active they are, and I find as they get older they do tend to retire more towards their hiding places. So hence why my big Pangio Mercy, you're very unlikely to see him. It took me 2 hours to get a photo shoot for practical fish keeping of him, and it was not a good photo. And a lot of my adults aren't coming out much, so they do look smaller than they actually do grow. And there's none in shot at the moment. There's a few down here. If I just move the camera. Oh, yeah, so there's one down there. Yeah, so they are fish that hide a lot, so you do need large numbers. I'd say a minimum of 10. Although for shoaling you usually say 6, 10 really brings them out of their shell and allows them to explore a little bit, both age and individuals. Because they're not the most studied, there could be multiple species, I think, within what we classify, and they're just so hard to identify the difference between them. But they are one of my favourites. They're common, but they're interesting, and they're my alternative to the Corydoras. Generally the minimum literage I'd say is 60 litres for a group, and then with other fish, but generally keeping that as a nano setup, so the loaches with the maybe dwarf cichlids. You can mix them with other loaches, and there are some loaches which probably would not get on with them. Generally keeping it with the small black water loaches, avoid tiger loaches, and clown loaches could be a possibility, but I wouldn't really. There's size difference a bit. So they are really a good starter fish if you're willing to create the setup for them, because it's not cheap creating a setup with more hiding places. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like my videos, please comment, rate and subscribe. I am at university at the moment, so my posts won't be too common. Like, I won't be posting too often, but I'm going, and a few will be from where I am at university rather than with my fish. But they are well looked after. I go home weekends to do the water changes and big care, and my family look after him otherwise. Anyway, thank you for watching.